Welcome, everyone. We're very glad you're here to join us for the Washington Library Association Special Libraries Division panel session. This is part one of two panels that will be inviting professionals from out and beyond with very unique and interesting work environments. I'm Sean Schollmeyer, and I am the WLA Board Director as the Special Libraries Division representative. And today we have a pretty unique list of panelists and questions that we'll be able to learn about their respective environments. My background in WLA, I've been in WLA probably about over 20 years now. And currently I am the Washington Digital Newspapers Coordinator at the Washington State Library. I also have several other hats where I am the past chair of the WLA Special Libraries Division. So I work with WLA, I work with the Pacific Northwest Library Association as well. And after hours from my day job at the State Library, I am a guest faculty instructor at the University of Washington Information School, where I teach digital preservation. And I have also worked in special libraries back in my work with Microsoft Studios as a DAM specialist, and prior to that at a company called Corbis Corporation, where we did image indexing and worked with taxonomy for digital collections. And we also have today our current chair of the Special Libraries Division, Tien Triggs, and she has been just a whole whirlwind of wonderful ideas this year. I'm very excited to have her. She is currently in her day job, the school and digital support librarian at the State Library, but she has been involved in Special Libraries Division for the past 3 years and a member of WLA since 2017, and recently received her MS ILS degree from the University of Buffalo. She's a manuscript editor there for their reading room, their open access journal. And so she has helped design today's event, where we are going to be interviewing through two moderators. Our two moderators are also from the State Library. We have Crystal Hicks, our current vice chair of the Special Libraries Division, and she is a wonderful asset for us as the head of collections at the head of collections and special librarian at the Washington State Library. She works with our Northwest rare newspapers, genealogy, maps, and government publications. So she has a lot on her plate, and she is doing a wonderful job at our state library to get all those things together and make them available to people for research. And Julie Thompson is our other moderator today. Julie is a reference librarian also at the State Library. We've got a suite here, and we are very pleased that she has been helping us with the digital backpacks and exhibits for the students. We have lesson plans through our primarily Washington program. She also scans a lot of the GovPubs at the State Library to help find those fun hidden gems of our collections and bringing those out for researchers and helping people to understand what's in our government publications. And she is also a past chair of the Special Libraries Division. I believe 2023 is when she was with us. So she is also very involved in helping to bring together some of our unique environments for special libraries. And there's such a range of librarian professional positions out there. One of the things that I think is really important for our division is the fact that we may have a lot of variety, a huge, vast range of different duties in our special libraries, but we also have a lot of things in common as well. And I really want to make sure that people understand that we are still library professionals. We have collections and archives that we manage. We have different tools in some cases, but they are collection organization tools. We all have that spirit of organization, the challenges of making sure that things are described properly and available and accessible to our users, whether our end users are sports fans or whether our end users are art researchers. They may be people out there that are just really interested in knowing the diversity and the things that we do as professional librarians. So our moderators will be asking questions of our panelists today. And our panelists today, we're very excited to have Gina Rome from the Seattle Kraken, and we will have Yuelin Chen, who is our Seattle Public, not Public Library, excuse me, our Seattle Art Museum librarian, which is really also a wonderful collection and treasure trove of artists from the Northwest and beyond. And so today our panel will be focused on sports and arts. We will also have a second panel session that will be recorded that will focus on medical and law libraries. So I will hand this over to Tien to talk to you a little bit more about our panelists and about Special Libraries Division as she is experiencing it as her chair role this year. So thank you, Tien.
Thank you for introducing everyone, Sean. And can everybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, great. So one of the reasons why we are offering this panel session on getting to know your special libraries and connecting communities to unique resources is because the Special Library Division encompasses so many different library types. They can be challenging for our student members and for new librarians to understand what we do. To that end, I am so thrilled that we have Gina Rome of the Seattle Kraken, like Sean said, and Yulin Chen of the Seattle Art Museum joining us today for a Q&A session. And I also appreciate so much that they didn't immediately delete my email when I essentially did the 21st century equivalent of cold calling them. So to start us off today, I'm turning the time over now to Gina Rome. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your work.
Right. Thank you, Tien, and the whole team for having me. I'm so excited to have this opportunity to geek out about my cool job. Um, I'm originally from Detroit and have lived in Seattle for about the past 10 years and pursued my master's at the University of Washington starting in 2019. So I was in grad school for the entire lockdown. So I wasn't going to leave my house anyway. And then it turned out that I couldn't. So I got a lot of studying done. And I am the digital asset manager at the Seattle Kraken. All right, there's so much that I'm passionate about with the work that I do and the unique position that I have. I'm so excited to share it all with you. So, the digital asset management team is a small and mighty team. Me and another librarian named Ashley, and we kind of have split the DAM duties into two halves. So Ashley, who is my supervisor, um, if you think of it like a car racing, she like owns the car. She manages the hardware, the software, and make sure our dam runs properly and oversees kind of the big picture of things. Whereas I more am driving the car. I'm using the system. I'm in it day to day and using it and in these substantive ways. So we're a really great two librarian team, and we both work together to fulfill content requests from inside as well as outside our organization. We create process and procedural documents where they haven't existed before. The Seattle Kraken, we're only in our fourth season, so everything and all of our processes are really new. So we're really laying a foundation for strong data practices and setting us up to have hopefully what is a really long hockey legacy in Seattle. And when we're able to look back at our 50th anniversary of the Kraken, to be able to find those special moments from our inaugural season and things like that. We do everything top to bottom as far as digital asset management goes, from ingesting all of this footage all the way to stewarding and making sure that our data is in good shape, and then giving it to the people who need it for various projects. So when people ask me what I do for a living and I say hockey librarian, this is just my short answer. I usually get some confused looks or some chuckles, but It is not the library that the hockey players are reading. It is all the videos, photos, and audio files that we get for our games and for special projects, and that is the digital library. So our main users who we support through managing our DAM is first and foremost video production. The folks who are making all those really great videos and bios and behind the scenes things that you see on social media or on the Seattle Kraken website, they are pulling those assets that have been tagged with metadata from our system. We help them find those, and then they use them to chop them up in Adobe Premiere and make these really rich, beautiful pieces of content that go out there. We also provide assets to broadcast and other media outlets like the news and the NHL and the Kraken Hockey Network, which is our in-house broadcast that shows all of our games. The department that we work with is, for the most part, the majority of people in the department are in-game presentation, which is to say all the fan experiences that take place at a game that aren't the actual hockey. So the sing-alongs, the live performances, the mascot, all of that stuff. So that's a really fun, creative facet of my job that I really enjoy. We also provide a ton of resources to our corporate partnerships, our sponsors who want like proof of execution that their sponsored game or their ad went really well. So showing them that, look, you gave us this support or this money, and now we're able to show you how that went and prove that worth to them. And then everyone else who wants media that we have. Sometimes someone's kid has ridden the Zamboni and they're like, wow, I really want that footage, and I can find that for them lickety split and get them that special moment for them. So that's really cool. We touch a lot of departments and a lot of different folks in the Seattle area. So on a day-to-day basis, my normal day is ingesting or uploading assets from the night before, making sure those all goes in smoothly. And then once they're uploaded, we have a panel in our digital asset management software that I have a picture of here. You can see a video file that has been uploaded. This is the first goal of a new rookie player. That was really exciting. And then on the right-hand side, that metadata panel where we're tagging who the player is, the fact that he just scored a goal, it was a power play, he had a celebration. Those things are all tagged manually by me all day, every day. There's some technical metadata that comes in, but all that substantive metadata about what's going on that our producers are going to be looking for is all put in there by me. And it's really fun. I get to watch hockey all day for my job. We also there's most of our metadata attributes are like in a drop-down list. There's a couple open fields that are in there, but whenever we feel like we need to add a new tag, we just have the autonomy and the power to just do that. I do get to go to a lot of games, which is amazing to tag things in real time. This goal happens, or like a big hit happens, and then 2 minutes later it's in the system, and I can say like, hit into boards, knocks down, whatever. And then that really quick turnaround can make a huge impact, especially for high importance games with our rivals or playoffs and things like that. I also love a process document. So I usually train new folks and people in other departments on how to access these things. And I really enjoy breaking down these big librarian taxonomy concepts into this like little nugget that I can give to a salesperson that they can understand and get everything that they need. There are obstacles and fun challenges that come with being a digital asset manager in the sports world. There are not that many of us. And through talking about what software we use and troubleshooting with one another, we really have developed this little community of folks who are all doing the same thing across sports and across the country. So one of the challenges is that we get per home game 1,000 assets on average, photo, video, audio. That equals about half a terabyte of data per game. We have 41 home games and 41 away games per year. So 41, that's 20 terabytes of just home games for a season. So it's a ton of data management. We talk about it like drinking out of a fire hose. There's always more to do, always more assets, richer metadata that we can add. And so that is a fun and interesting challenge to prioritize. Again, the season pace is so fast with games almost every other day that it honestly is impossible to do it all. And we just do our best. And on that, another challenge that I face is because it's in the for-profit world and we don't necessarily produce profit, we're not a revenue generating team. It can be really difficult to prove our worth to those decision makers that are like, this is our budget, this is where we're at. So always trying to find ways to engage with those higher up folks to show them what we're capable of and show the worth of this system and the work that we do in the efficiency and the richness of the storytelling that then production and others decide to do. Finally, our DAM platform that we use right now is not really meeting our needs anymore. So transitioning into what's next is that we are getting a brand new DAM, completely overhauling the whole process. And so that migration and that training is very imminent. And we don't really know what's going to happen, but my coworker Ashley put in a ton of work into evaluating and selecting a new DAM for us. And it's going to, once we settle into it, be really positive. We're also considering how much we want to have AI tag and look at our data for us. That once we get into our new system, I think that'll become the next big question. Face recognition, number recognition, and then those APIs that with sports, the sports data that exists out there, matching up those like time codes with what's going on so that I don't have to watch it and know that a fight is happening. Someone already has that data and we can link it in together. So that's on the horizon. And then finally, with the new DAM, we're hoping that instead of us essentially at the front desk of the library running and getting the books for everyone all the time, we're hoping that there's more browsability and a little bit more accessibility with our new system so that folks can feel empowered to get those things for themselves and can open Ashley and I up to more librarian type tasks and managing the taxonomy, things like that. So there's a ton that goes into my job, but I'm really passionate about hockey, about how sports play an important part in our community. And I'm just so honored to be able to share this amazing, weird librarian job with all of you. So thank you again.
Thank you so much, Gina. That is weird, but in a good way. This is exactly why we wanted you to be here and why we've invited the panelists that we did. And I did not know this, but I guess riding a Zamboni is going on my bucket list. So if we can somehow make that happen, I'm hoping some of you will also be able to join me and we can all cross it off at the same time. So next, we'll hear from Yuelin Chen. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your work.
Okay, so I'm really fascinated by Gina's work. It's so much fun. Yeah, so well, I'm Yulin Chen. I'm from Taiwan, so I would never ever thought about I would be at this position right now. So my library is different, very different from Gina's library, but it's served the purpose of the museum. That's why we have special library that's so different, each one for each. So I'm from Taiwan, and I had a master's degree from Queens College in New York City. So that's long time ago. I remember back then we are still using the DOS, and then the blue screen with all the database. And so after my study, completing my MLS, I worked as a technical service librarian and sister librarian at a small public library in Oregon. So that's an opportunity that I can learn from car catalog, transition to online catalog, and then from the advent of the internet, and then also the shift of the patrons' information retrieval behavior. So I have always working at the traditional libraries. It's not like a special so, but I am really passionate about how to, because back then I think everybody knows we used Library of Congress subject headings, and which is not very friendly to library users. So I just have this thought back then that how can I change that? How can I make it easier for people to search information without following all the rules? So after working at the public library, I attend I get a degree of information management from University of Washington. So that opened the door, made me think about creating metadata and creating control vocabulary, and then I don't need to use a set rules. I can just create that according to the institutions, according to everybody's information retrieval behavior, their need, the information need. So that knowledge gained from that program is very helpful right now for my job. So then I work at I work at Renton Technical College Library and the Seattle H&R Museum Library after the second degree until 2022 that I also work at the Seattle Art Museum Library. So now I'm in charge of Seattle H&R Museum Library and Seattle Art Museum Library. Probably not many people know that there are two museums in Seattle, in two museum libraries in the Seattle Art Museum system. So one is in VP, the Seattle H&R Museum, and then we have a Macau Foundation Library. So all the collection in there is from East Asia. It's relevant. It covers East Asia till Turkey. So that's all the collection there is covered. And then on the Seattle Art Museum Library downtown, all the collection here is about everything besides that, the Western, African, and then the Australia, all the art from those areas. So now I'm in charge of both libraries. So my current job, well, let me describe what I have done this week, so you probably will understand. It's always come like I have to process many books, many a donation from very valuable donation on Japanese art books, or the reference book on Japanese art. So I have to process that, and and then another project is I help a researcher to find some information about an artist who has spent some time in Washington State in early 20th century, and what he has, his correspondence back then, and then what artwork he has created when he was in Washington State. And then today I'm working with my volunteer to work on the journal deaccession project, and then also I have to prepare a bibliography of research materials for two of my curators. And then also I have to work on the oral history project to contact the the researcher, and then make sure all the timeline is all set. So this is, as you can see, it's very different. It's each task is kind of all related to art, but it's very different projects. So the library, let me see, the library, Seattle Art Museum Library, as I mentioned before, we have two. One is Seattle Asian Art Museum Library, and the other one is Seattle Art Museum Library. So total, we have around that 79,000 volumes of books. Not many, but that's in combined two libraries. And then also we have around 1,075 linear feet of paper material, the archive. So we store in both UW Library, Spatial UW Library, and also here on site. And then we also have around 130 linear feet of audiovisual material. And again, storing both in UW Library here and the same. So we have a research databases for internal research purpose, and then we also have digital collections on project, and then we have a digital archive database like DAM for our historic media, which we are still working on tagging metadata and then provide access to the public. So it will be available for researcher and then to come pretty soon. So that's pretty much for my introduction right now. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Yue-Lin Chen. I was just having some difficulty with scrolling through your slides, but I wanted the chance for people to see some of the things that you had included in your slides. So there were the two libraries, and this is your artist books display. So if you would like to share with us how your last two slides about the artist books and an example of library art that what those were before we go into our questions, that would be wonderful to hear about.
I'm sorry, I cannot see the slides now, but the first one I believe would be the library of Seattle Art Museum at Seattle Art Museum. So that's our library, inside of our library, and we do have like the workstation, and we have volunteer working on those stations. When I took the picture, let me see what it is. Okay, so in this library, we have like our collection include like monographs and journals, exhibition catalogs, and pamphlets, auction catalogs, and artist books, also photo books, and some artist file for Pacific Northwest artists. So in the second slide, it's the library at Asian Art Museum, Seattle Asian Art Museum. That's the Macau Foundation Library. And the third slide, I believe, the Tian, I couldn't see the slide. Could you remind me what?
Yeah, it's
Is
the
that the artist books?
artist books.
Yes,
So
that's the,
hopefully everybody is seeing the slide that says artist books. Okay, they're
yeah,
saying that's what they see. And
okay.
you took pictures of some of these books, and it says spontaneous books.
Right,
So
right. It's books in different formats, but still convey some idea and then some information. And then we start this collection probably before pandemic, and now we have quite a few in our both libraries. So, and the last one would be
it's the art book display that
art
shows.
book display. That's for our each, I'm sorry, just, yeah. For each exhibition we have prepared, we the curators will contact us the curator will contact us. I will work with curator for each exhibition, and then probably a couple months before the exhibition, we will have a art book display in the library. So for staff or any visitors to come in to check them, and the staff can check them out, but the visitor can consult it in the library. So these are two exhibitions. One is I think one is Calder. It's still on exhibition right now. Yeah. So that's the photos. That's the slides I have.
Thank you very much for both of you giving us your introductions and telling us a little bit about your work and your day-to-day responsibilities. And as we can see, just comparing the two, they're very different. And now it's question time. The Special Library Division solicited questions from our membership, and we received a great response, many from the pre-professionals that we hope to reach. To help us with that, Crystal Hicks and Julie Thompson, for as long as we have her, will be taking turns with some questions, and Sean and I will pitch in as needed because we don't have some of them, like Julie, for the rest of this time. So we may not get to all the questions, but we were hoping to save some time at the end for a couple fun ones to ask our panelists as a surprise. Take it away, Julie or Crystal.
All right, this is Julie. I will take over. Thank you both for your really super interesting presentations. It makes me excited about being a librarian and exploring all the different opportunities. Our first question, and it is, what brought you to your area of librarianship? And I think I will give you, Aylin, a break since she just spoke. And Gina, would you like to tackle this question first?
Yes. When I started my MLIS program, I wasn't really sure what kind of focus I was interested in. But then as I started to learn more about data curation, taxonomy, knowledge organization, really the I in MLIS really started to pique my interest. So I did not really know that sports dams existed. No one told me that, like, I don't think anyone knew. Like, it's pretty, it's a pretty new field. And I just saw the posting online and was like, I like metadata. I like hockey. Sure. Like, I'll just throw my name into the ring. Who knows? And then I ended up connecting really well with the person who was hiring, and it seemed like a really good fit. So I was as surprised as anyone to find myself in this position, but I think having the versatility of the information organization that I had gotten in school allowed me to kind of arrive at this point.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yuelin, what about you?
Well, I think, believe or not, my father chose this occupation for me. So it's I mean, that's long time ago. Back then, my father, he was a high school teacher, but he went to library every day before class. So he said that you can either choose to be a teacher or to be a librarian. But librarian is you don't have to stand there to talk for for the whole day. But to be honest, I didn't know. I'm not familiar with this field at all when I choose this study of library science. But the longer I work in this field, the more I come to like it. I learn a lot on the job. So first job I was in the public library, so doing pretty much all the technical and system to set up internet, to set up router and all these things. And then I work at the college library. I get to work with students, and then I work in this museum library. I just enjoy. I I love art, so this is kind of like perfect combination for me. So so when I apply for this job, I consider I have a good connection with the librarian before me. So and she saw that I'm a good candidate for that. So that's why I always tell my students, the intern here, that they have to if they are interested in certain job, they need to start to establish connection. That's very important. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. I will turn it over to Crystal.
And the next question I would have, and we can go in the same order, is what should someone interested in working in your specific field know before pursuing work in special library?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Can you hear me?
It's a little fuzzy on my end. I don't know about everyone else.
Yeah, me too. It's kind of fuzzy.
My connection's not great. You might have to look. And what you would take with this? Is it sounded bad? Let me try without that then. Okay, what about
Sounds a
I think
little better, I think.
Yeah, I think it sounds a little better. But Sean, if you don't mind also hopping in if you need to with Crystal's question. I don't know why her voice is so fuzzy.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I don't want it to sound bad on the recording, but
Oh, that's a lot better now though. So let's try again.
okay, great. So the next question, and we can go in the same order, is what should someone interested in working in your specific field know before pursuing work in special library?
I that is a really interesting question. I feel like I didn't hardly know anything about this field before I got into it. I had a pretty broad and deep knowledge of like taxonomy and metadata practices, and having it be one of my first positions out of school, I had like a very theoretical, like intellectual, whatever way of approaching librarianship. And so being dropped into the job with hundreds of people that aren't librarians, having to be able to communicate the value of what we were doing in a way that people could understand without having that more formal education background in what I was talking about was key. So I think developing those communication skills. And like I mentioned when I was uh, talking about my slide, there is an element, and I learned about this in the iSchool, that you probably are going to have to prove your worth in a for-profit world that is not about librarianship. And so to always be, I don't know, ready to advocate for yourself and to break down problems and even successes into bite-sized pieces that people can, how does this benefit you? Like that's what I want to share with people. So I think, yeah, a strong sense of what I do matters, talking to people, being able to communicate, and just being open to Yuan Lin said, always be learning on the job. So hope that answers the question.
Do you want an answer for that one?
Yeah, from my job, I think it's very important to have a very strong interest in art. It doesn't have to be a degree or doesn't have to be but just very strong interest, because that's what you work with every day. And then from my experience, it's keep an open, that always open to projects and the new knowledge. And then Gina said, that advocate for yourself, and communication is very important, because in the spatial library, it's always we the visitor and the people who use the libraries are not a set of the people. We have board member coming here, and I have to work with volunteers, like 5 or 6 volunteers here, and I have to work with curators, and then just the communication. And yeah, I think that's very important. But just a very strong interest in art, I would emphasize that.
Thank you.
Thank you. All of these answers are super relatable. I don't like to, well, I do like to relate a lot of things to Lord of the Rings, but sometimes I feel like we're the Faramir. We have to constantly prove our worth and our value. So
That's so good.
Yeah.
My next question for you both is, what is something that you do in your job that makes you proud of what you do, or what your organization does? And I will let either of you decide who wants to jump in first.
I think I can
Yeah, I can go
be the
first.
Yes. So
Oh, working in sports is so special. It can you can view it as entertainment and kind of this like, it's not like life or death or having like a huge impact on the world in this way, but building the community and seeing how people can rally around sports, and as an athlete myself, is so amazing. And to know that the storytelling that this strong brand can do because of the work that I do behind the scenes is so special. We Jessica Campbell is our assistant coach. She's the first woman to ever coach in the NHL. And to be able to have a part in broadcasting and sharing her stories across the sport, across the country, making headlines and providing the assets to show her worth and to show other women and girls that this is possible is so powerful. We have Common Thread nights, which is like Black hockey history, women in hockey. We have a Pride night, and using our amazing visual and audio to tell those stories in such an authentic way makes me so proud every day when I'm scrolling through social media or when I'm watching a hockey game and I see something that I'm like, I helped make this, is just unbelievable. And it makes me feel amazing to know that I can have a part in having that impact in someone else's life.
yeah, I would say that, like Gina, that the museum's mission, the same mission, is connect art to life. So I have couple occasions that we have the school tours. We have students come in to in the galleries, and then after that they'll come to the library. They told me that I never been to a museum before, so this is amazing. So I'm so happy that their teacher, their school will arrange this trip. Just think about some people probably, some students probably not that underprivileged students. They will have this opportunity to come into the museum, and then some of them really inspired by the art, and then they want to learn more about it. They come to the library, ask me about the resource to help them to understand more. And then for the library part, I'm so proud that I have several work study students, high school work study, and then high school intern. After they volunteer and then intern at the museum library, they decided to go to the library school. They want to be a librarian. So I'm very happy about that point. Yeah.
Thank you. I have another question for you. What project have you done in your field that you think is cool, exciting, or important, or all three of those things?
I think anytime that I can help someone do their job better and to have it be out there in the world just makes me feel special every time. We recently had a women in hockey night, and last minute someone needed videos and photos of two high level coworkers, and they were like, Gina, we need this in an hour, and I'm like, I'm on it. and and because of my diligence, like no one had asked me to tag these people, but because I did anyway, I was able to like get them that on time and see it on TV a couple hours later. So boosting not only the sport and the players, but my own coworkers in that way was an honor, and like to be trusted with a project that needed to happen so fast and like with such a quick turnaround, um, made me feel really good.
So I think one of the project, my recent project that we just finished last year, is the oral history project with our former Native American art curator. So she has been working at, she retired and then she worked at SAM for about 20 years. So all her knowledge and the collaboration with local indigenous communities are very, very valuable for us. So I applied a grant from the state library, and then we kind of set out the plan, and then we have a researcher and we have a video producer, and then we also invite two Native American indigenous community, two leaders, and then one young intern here to talk about their their when how they collaborate and then what they learn from the curator. So I think that's the most recent project. I think it's very valuable, and it's at the same time it's fun. It's yeah, talking to all of them and then see that recording. It's very rewarding.
Thank you
Thank
both.
you so much. Oh, sorry, Crystal. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying thank you.
Oh, yep. We all want to thank them. I mean, these answers to these questions have been so good, and are I wish we had more time with you, but I want to get at least one fun question in. And this is amazing. You both have been just so amazing, and our moderators are doing an excellent job. But I do have one really interesting fun question to ask you is, did either of you have another dream job in mind if you couldn't be a librarian or a special librarian?
Hmm. I have two answers. One, when I was a little kid, I wanted to be an opera singer. Thought that was a cool job. Love opera. Um, I think that if I was not being a librarian, I would love to take a stab at using art to support my life. Being an artist and expressing myself creatively is really important to me. And right now, making art is my hobby, but I would have loved to do that as my livelihood.
And for me, I have four answers. So first is when I was in grade school, I really want to be a teacher. Both my parents are teachers, so and then I want to be a nurse. And then when I after I start to fly between from Taiwan and the United States, I really want to be a pilot. And then when I grow older, I think next life I want to be a neurosurgeon. So so this is yeah, this is my four answers here.
No judgment here. I know exactly what you are talking about because I have been a teacher as well, and I did originally plan to go into neuropathology. So I was pre-med for a while as well. So I understand. Um, and we have one very quick last fun question, which a bunch of our students sent in. It's pretty simple. They wanted to know, how do I get your job?
How do you get my job? Well, it's my job. You can't have it. Okay, sorry. No, please. I would love to have a bigger damn team. That's amazing. The Kraken do offer a variety of internships in all kinds of fields. Obviously, my department is game presentation and event experience, but there are plenty of opportunities to get involved in an internship capacity. But my biggest piece of advice is just like talk to a lot of people, put yourself out there. The worst anyone can say is like, no, we're not interested. So just when you see something you want to do, don't have any self-doubt. Just go for it. Just try. You'll never know what you'll get out of it.
Yeah, I totally agree with Gina. That is so important. You persistent to pursue what you are looking for, and talk to a lot of people. Internship really helps. Internship, because I have some interns that worked for me before, and then I'm thinking that if I ever need another librarian, I will hire them. Internship is really helpful. And then also, I think some of the professional association, they have student membership. It doesn't hurt to go into that route, to just go in there. They go to, maybe if it's possible, go to some conference to meet a lot of people, and then there in those associations they also have a like job announcement. So that would be a really good start point for the student just graduate from library school.
Thank you for really talking, directly to the ones who are most interested in this session, which are our pre-professionals, our students, and new librarians. I wish we had more time. Oh my gosh, I could spend so much more time with all of you. And I think that our special library division members who are also involved with this would agree with me. Thank you to Sean for co-presenting this session, to our moderators for being the team that makes the dream work, and to our stars, our panelists Gina Rome and Yue-Lin Chen. So I'm going to put up a slide with the contact information for the special library division. So just give me a moment to do that.
Tien does that, I'd also like to say thank you. And I just think it's really wonderful how we are sharing some of the things we do have in common. The fact that, we're very passionate about making things accessible for our end users, whether they're sports fans, art lovers, library enthusiasts. And I just love the fact that we've also got the storytelling aspect to it. So thank you from me also for joining us today. And Tien has really thought this through very well. And so I'd also like to really thank Tien for helping to make this happen and coordinating this today as well.
It was an
Well,
honor to be involved. Thanks to everyone. This has been so fun.
Yeah, thank you
yeah.
for the opportunity. Yeah,
I
thank you.
mean, to be honest, I could not do even half this work half as well without this incredible special librarian division team and the special libraries and librarians who work in other fields. You all are so awesome. So if anybody in our audience, when they see this recording, I've given them a chance to send us questions, comments, and kudos. I will pass those along to you if you are, open to hearing from people who are just love to hear about your work. And I'm just going to let everyone know that for the conference this year, the Special Library Division has a table and a meetup. So please contact us using the link or QR code if you are interested in meeting our team and attending our events. And before we end this session, I'd like to remind you that there is a part 2 of our session with Rob Mead and Liz Morris that you can access to hear about law and medical libraries. And if anybody would like to share anything else, this is the time before I end the session and the recording. And thank you for joining us.
Yay, Special
Yay.
Libraries Division.
Yes.
I just want to say quickly, thank you, everyone. Thank our wonderful panelists and Tien and Sean for putting such an awesome panel together today. This has been a high point of my Friday.
Thank you. Thanks again for joining us, everyone. Bye.